In 2012, a young man named Matthew Stargos won the two-hand spinning event using an outfit like this. Well, he now lives in the States. Matt's father lives in Poland, and he converts these reels to fast retrieve. He was coming to the state to visit his son, and I made arrangements to have this. I made my reel to Matt's house. His father was going to bring the parts necessary to make this a fast retrieve reel. Well, when he got here, I got a telephone call. He can't do it because he didn't bring the right parts. He says, this is a left-hand reel. I couldn't argue with him. I knew it was not a left-hand reel. It's a right-hand reel. Left-hand reel's got the handle on the other side. Now, left-hander could use this quite successfully. But a right-hander, when we make our cast, you got to put it in their left hand and crank. 20 times, you've lost 20 to 30 seconds. So if you wind up tying somebody, you're going to lose. So I didn't know what he was talking about. And I got online and looked at some of the videos of the World Championships. The right-hand casters they used a left-hand reel. So when they cast, all they had to do is this. And that plug's screaming back in because of this fast retrieve. It's belt driven. In order to get this done, I had given Matt one of these machine spools that I made. He came to the Kentucky Open 3 years ago. In practice, he went out to make a practice cast. He came back. I said, I knew it was far. I said, how far was that? He says, 150 meters. Well, I know that 100 meters is 329 feet. Add another 150 of that, I mean, you're talking about a 500, 600 foot cast. He said, I've got to have one for my father. I said, okay, I'll trade one of these machine spools for this conversion. And that's how I got it. Now, I want to get a little personal. I grew up in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. My father was supervisor of Area 7 with the Fish, Game and Wildlife. One of his officers had done tournament casting and actually had competed in nationals. So my father and this guy, I don't know where they went, how they did it, but they got several dozen square, true temper metal rods and Shakespeare Wonder reels. And the only line we could get back then was just this big, thick, heavy black Ashaway line. So they taught casting in every high school in District 7. I'm not sure how many counties that is. That's probably over a dozen counties. So we casted in Wheelwright and Wayland and McDowell and Allen and all over. We never saw water till we went to a national tournament or a tournament like in Lexington. We had tournaments in Danville, Harrisburg, Harrington Lake, Louisville, Cincinnati. We have lots of clubs in this country. Unfortunately, we don't have that many now. I mentioned Skish. Seeing Matt Wickham's display plugs, I saw an expert patch. They gave merit, expert, and master patches. The master patches is one of the most coveted ones that you can get. because it takes a very high score to get it. My father took us to St. Petersburg, Florida. And back then, that was quite a trip. And my brother and I, two other brothers, and another kid, he took us there. 1953, I was 17 years old. I won 3/8 skish. I won 5/8 accuracy. I won 5/8 skish. Well, every time we won a tournament, we won patches. So I had a jacket, patches all over. When I finally won my master patch, I wouldn't put it on because I had learned what masturbate means. It was merit bait, expert bait, masturbate. That's my skid story. In American Casting Association, we have what are called regular events, and we have what's called special events. A special event is an event that had been previously cast and was done away with and put in the back of the book and called a special. Skish was one of those events. We don't cast skish anymore. They do in Europe, but we don't here. So it's a special event. We have 12 recognized regular events. 3 distance fly, 3 distance plug. These are all done on land because you cannot reel your plug back in. You have to walk to your plug. You've got a walker going with you with a marker, and they will stay where your plug lands. Particularly true in spiderweb. You could not reel that plug back in. You'd cut that line on a blade of grass just trying to walk to your plug, so you couldn't be pulling on it. The salmon fly is the big boy, 17 feet long. You're throwing a 120 gram line, which is about 4 ounces. You get older, you go to a lighter line. I'm down to about 110 gram line. Single hand distance, the maximum length of the rod is 9 feet 8. Now, angler's fly is probably the most popular fly distance game because it uses regular 300 grain shooting heads, 11, 12 weight rods. You can go out and very successfully compete with that outfit. Now, as we drop those, they go into the special events. In the plug events, the 3 distance plug events, we have 2-hand spinning, which is this puppy here. We have 2-hand revolving spool. The reels for 2-hand revolving spool, they have to be souped up. Very few mag reels are successful in that event. They're all centrifugal weights, dragging against a drum. No oil, we use pure hybrid ceramic bearings. You don't have to oil them at all, you just have to keep them clean. Then we got the 1/4 ounce or 7.5 gram single-handed distance. I hold the record in that one. Now, I hold the record against the old people. We have divisions in ACA. We have youth, we have juniors, we have intermediates, we have men, and we have senior men. We have regular women, and we have senior women. It's the only sport that I'm aware of where the casters are the judges. In Europe, they have paid judges. They have to be trained through school. Here, We've all seen the plug hit the water enough times, and we've heard what somebody else has called it, so we instinctively know how to score. So we're scoring our competition, and rarely is there any kind of an argument. We have 2 judges in national championships. If I say that cast was a 1 foot away from the target, and my counter judge says it's a perfect, I'm honored bound to call it perfect to the scorekeeper. The caster always gets the benefit of the doubt. And we have 6 fly events. 3 of them distance, 3 of them accuracy. Bass bug is the bear. You got 5 targets. Once you start, you can false cast at that first target all you want, but you've got 5 minutes to complete the entire round. You have only 2 false casts to the next target. 2 at the next, 2 at the next, 2 at the next. You get at the 5th target. Now you must shoot it 20 feet to that 70 foot, which is kind of tough to do. Once you've done the 6 targets, pull the line back in. You can false cast the first target as much as you want, but the remaining 5 targets, you only get 1 false cast. A lot of people just take the 1 false cast anyway, because if you take 2, you're inclined to get yourself in trouble. So they'll just clear it out. The plug events are 1/4 ounce accuracy. You must use spinning. It can be open face or it can be closed face. The 3/8 event, you have the option. You can use revolving spool or you can use spinning. Most of us old timers are still using revolving spool. The newer people, they just simply, they may change the rod or they may change the drop on the end of the rod. Okay, you cast both events with spinning. 5/8 accuracy, you must use revolving spool. I'm pretty done. I would like for Todd to pass out a photograph. I'll give you time to look at it. There are two outfits in this picture. The one at the bottom is the one I want to talk about. I have no idea what that top one is. It's obviously a spinning rod, or it could be a bait casting rod, but I know it's bamboo. And I don't know whether the rod in the lower picture, whether it's a Winston or whether it's a Leonard. I suspect it might be a Winston. Todd,
yeah, I think it is Winston.
Can agree with me. On July the 29th at 7 o'clock, that reel is going to be auctioned off. That is a William Shakespeare Jr. It's the only handle in the world made strictly for that reel. Now, Todd, I met Todd in Cincinnati when we first looked over the Cliff Netherton collection. That's where that reel came from. Not sure where he got it.
He got it from
But anyway.
Monroe. Son.
Here's Todd.
He got it from Monroe, his son. Bill Shakespeare's son, Monroe, gave it to him, Cliff directly.
2 weeks before meeting Todd, he'd been with one of the Shakespeare nephews or something. He had a reel. It had a special foot on it. The guy had no idea what that reel was all about. Todd didn't know. But when he came to Cincinnati and saw that outfit, he saw how that special foot locked in and screwed in. The handle, all I can say is it's absolutely beautiful. It doesn't have William Shakespeare Jr. engraved in it. It's etched deep, beautifully engraved. I don't know how to put a price on that reel, but it's gonna bring some large dollars. Now, if there's anybody that wants to come to Lexington, we're staying at the Clarion Hotel in Lexington. On the ACA website, there's a place there where you can reserve a room. We have 2 clubs in Lexington. We have the Bluegrass Sportsman's League. My son and some other people don't belong to that, but they want to cast. They don't belong to it because it's expensive to join. And so we created the Central Kentucky Casting Club. We have no meetings. There are no dues.
There you go.
So if somebody wants to come, all they have to do is say they're with the American Casting Association. You get the special rate of $87 plus the taxes. Normally it's going to be $130 plus taxes. So reserve your room, say you're with ACA, and they said that puppy sells. Now there are lots of other items, but I was not able to come up with a list for this. That's all I say, but I do want to thank the people that provided the wine and the cheese and stuff during the little thing. That was a nice touch.
It was.
You know, when we get together, we talk tackle. We don't even know what people do for a living. So it's a sharing and fellowship that's beautiful about an organization like this. Thank you.